So every morning I start out my day washing the dishes. Today, turn this to hot, nothing, only cold water. So in a temporary situation, I resorted to boiling the water on the stovetop. We gotta find out what's wrong. Let's head downstairs and go check the water heater. So one of the first things to check is to see if you have electricity or gas at your water heater. We have an electric water heater, so the first thing I'm going to do is check the breaker to see if the breaker tripped. Now for us, it's a little bit complicated because we have a geothermal setup and it's run off of our water furnace or our geothermal loop, and it's got two breakers here, one for the water heater, one for the furnace. They're both set to on, they haven't tripped, so we go to the main box. So this is our main breaker box wiring the entire house. So as you can see, right here, there's a double poled breaker, 30 amp. One of the problems can be is that the breaker here has gone bad. Now, a notable mention here is we have what's called a peak interrupter. We have 2 meter boxes outside, and it will cut out from the electric company during peak hours, giving us a discount on our power. So if this goes out, you don't get hot water during that time. That wasn't the case. Because of the peak interrupter, we have a separate breaker here, and this also runs out of 2 removable fuses right there, and I've already removed them. Let's take a look. So just at a glance looking at these, I really couldn't see a huge problem. The one looks a little dark in the inside, but the metal fuse at the top is intact. So I pulled them out, took them upstairs to look at them in better light. And upstairs I noticed the bottom of the one is discolored, and that's the one that's dark in the bottom. So I think it like partially blew. Got some replacements always sitting here ready to go, and if it gets low, it goes right on the list to go ahead and buy more. So let's screw in a replacement and see if we get hot water. Now I realize that some people are very fearful of touching any of this, and that's fine. Only do what you're comfortable with. I've had this happen to me once before when we first moved here. For a month, this breaker was off and we didn't know why. Fortunately, the children of the original owners lived close by. They turned it off. I called and I said, "What's up with the hot water? It only gets mildly warm and it runs out." Well, we weren't actually living here at the time yet. He said, "Oh, there's a separate deal in the basement because of the interrupter. Just flick that up." I had hot water instantly. It just was great to find that out and not have to call somebody. And that's the point of this. If you can save yourself a service call, a lot of people would go out and go buy a new water heater. That wasn't going to fix the problem. And then they would have spent $500, $800 on a DIY of doing a replacement water heater. And electric hot water heaters are not always in stock, and they are expensive. And speaking of expensive, so is a service call. That guy coming to your house to check things, to have to clean out your basement for him to get to. This is a storage basement, and as you saw in the last shot, I've got canning supplies everywhere. My kids have excess toys. Everything gets stored down here, and honestly, I just rather do it myself on top of saving the money. So if we don't have hot water at this point, what you do is go in and you can pull out that double pole 30 amp breaker and test it with an electrical tester. They're probably $15 to $30 depending on where you buy them. We've bought them recently at Menards, and there's different brands, so the prices can range quite a bit. Now we've got very cold well water, and it starts out from the well at about 50 degrees, which is nice and cold and refreshing, but it takes a while to get to the kitchen. So like I said, it takes a little while, but here it is. I have hot water now. Just like that. That little 4-pack of fuses probably costs $2 or $3, and to have that many on hand is nothing compared to calling in a service. Today is Sunday, so that would be an emergency call that you'd get billed a whole lot for, or they might not even get the message until Monday, and you'd be sitting with cold water for days. We got a house full of people who need a shower. So let's conserve some of this water and let that heat up so that the evening dishes can get washed without boiling water. I hope this helps you the way it helps our family. Go ahead and do that PayPal me to buy us a cup of coffee, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.